Tēnā koutou katoa. Welcome to Westy Wednesday. Just a moment and I'll just do this. Go. Oh, why does it always do that? Somebody needs to tell me about... If I put Do Not Disturb on, I'm going to put this maybe there. Whiskey Wednesday. I love that. I love that when it does the what do you call it when it puts the words on? Anyway, when I say Westy Wednesday, it comes up and says Whiskey Wednesday. So maybe somebody could let me know if you can hear me, which I'm hoping so. So hey, Tash and Michelle and Livy, nice to see you guys. Somebody want to give me a thumbs up if you can hear me out of here. Yep, David's just said you can. That's great. And Colin and Kerry, nice to have you guys aboard. How is everybody doing today? I got to be honest, I've had a pretty shit day. Hey Gloria. Yep, I'm seeing some thumbs up. Hey Chanel. Yeah, so and Nikki, lots of people joining today. That's really cool. Kia ora out of here. It's so hard, isn't it, when we don't get to see each other? Oh my gosh, I think I was nearly going to cry then. Yeah, when we just can't see each other and our lives are so different. It just feels like they've been we've been turned on our heads. I was just saying to Josiah today how I wish Roger was here because he would be all over this whole coronavirus thing and yeah, he would love it and he would hate it at the same time, and it would be fun for us having him here, as well as it would be terrible having him here because he'd be obsessed about it, and certainly in his end stages he was very hey Logan, he was very careful about hygiene and of course and so that would have driven us all crazy. So today I got a notification on my COVID tracer app. So hands up if you've got the COVID app on your phone. I don't know how you can do that. Please do it if you can on your... There must be a hands up. A weird hand. There we go. There must be a hands up or a thumbs up that you can send to let me know if you've got your the COVID tracer app on your phone. If you don't, then I want to highly recommend that you get it. So yeah, I got a notification today. Thanks, Dave. He's got it to say that I had been somewhere where Livy's got it. Awesome. Yeah, just to say that I'd been somewhere where there had been and Michelle looks like she's got it. Yeah. Somebody had COVID-19 and they'd been at that. It was a cafe that I'd been to, and it must have been a worker because they'd been there from 9 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon, and I'd been there with Josiah to have lunch that day. It was really interesting. So I guess the thing is that just shows you how important it is to use your little tracer and do the QR code. I don't have to do anything. It's called a casual close contact, but I do just have to be aware if I get any symptoms to call the health line. I think I will probably go and have a COVID test, not because I feel unwell, but because of I have somebody that is living in my home who is No, Logan. Interesting. He didn't. He didn't get the notification. I don't know if he's even watching. He's probably not, because he's got more important things to be watching on the internet at the moment, which is probably something to do with politics. So no, he didn't. He may still get that. But anyway, I'm going to go and get a test, because I have 2 vulnerable people who are living in my home. Somebody with diabetes and the Winesy Wednesday, and the baby. So even though she's a healthy wee baby, she's also a vulnerable child, and she was a preemie baby. So just to make 100% sure and be super precautious for them, I'll go and get a test. So I'm going to go and do that tomorrow. But I just think if I hadn't used my QR code, then I haven't seen anything about this particular place on either social media or on the news. I wouldn't have known that there'd been somebody who had that. Thanks, Heather. Who'd had that, who'd had the coronavirus at this cafe. So isn't that amazing? Just how close it can be. And again, I'm just going to put it out there for those of you who come to our church services, that we won't be meeting in a hurry. I think for me, I'm going to have to feel very, very strongly that we are in a place where it's safe to meet as a church. And I know that we get under 100, so even if they lift the amount to 100, that still won't be enough for me. And we've got masks, so that we'll strongly encourage people to wear masks when we do start back up meeting in person. But in the meantime, I think there's so much that we can be doing as a church whānau to serve each other and to serve our community. And I'm going to be preaching about those kind of things over the next. Actually, I'm going to be preaching about restoration, restoring our church family first, and then restoring our community and our relationship with our community, and then restoring our relationship with the planet. So I'm really excited about that, actually. Been trying to do a bit of research. I'm not going to actually talk about that right now, but just to maybe get you enthusiastic about joining us on a Sunday morning, live on Facebook or on YouTube. So I read this scripture. I'm just going to read it because, we're all going through stuff, and some of us have got big stuff, some of us have not got big stuff, but some of us are getting worn down by the constantness of this. Constantness, is that a word? Hey Sarah. Yeah, so some of us are just worn down by that constant on and on of this COVID-19, and it's not just about the virus, but it's about our jobs, and it's about trying to figure out and deal with those conspiracy theories that are just filled with fear, and it's about worrying about our families, and worrying about each other, and worrying about the future. And so it's not just that we're worried about maybe getting COVID-19. Josiah finally joined us, eh? I was just talking about you before, son. Anyway, this scripture says, it's Isaiah 41 verse 10. And it says, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." I'm going to read that again because I need to hear this today. Fear not, for I am with you. This is God saying this. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. So I wonder who else needs to hear that today. Who else needs to hear that God is with us? So we can be feeling like shit. And like I said earlier, that's how I feel today. We can be feeling like that and still know that God is with us. He sits beside us. You know, I often have that sense of God being with me. And even when I feel terrible, when I'm feeling distressed or upset or sad or angry or hurt, I can still know that God is with me. And so often in those kind of times, we feel like God has abandoned us, when actually those are the times when He is actually, stop saying actually, those are the times when He's really close to us. You know, and I often pray when I'm praying for people that God would be the pillar that they lean against. We met, Gail and I, this week with, let me see if I can find the card. Oh, I can't. I'm pretty sure their name is Chow Hill. And they are architects, to talk about some designs for our future development at the church. And we talked a little bit about the Oxford Terraced Baptist Church in Christchurch. So they have had to demolish their building after the Christchurch earthquakes, and they've built this beautiful, incredibly beautiful new building. What they've done is they've left some of the pillars from their beautiful old building standing, or the parts of them that were still left standing. You can Google them, Oxford Terraced Baptist, Oxford, yeah. You can Google them and have a look at their building, and you'll see what I mean. And that's the picture that I have of God, is that He's like this pillar. And when we were in Argentina, I went to a church with my whānau, and it had these massive pillars, like there's just no way you could put your arms around them. And those are the kind of pictures, the kind of pillars that I picture when I pray, that we could lean against God. It's another picture of pillars at the Auckland Museum. You know, those big pillars at the front of that building. Just strong, and we are insignificant and tiny, and our weight is so light when we lean against those pillars. So that's how I know that God is with me, is that I can have that sense of leaning against Him. And you know, where this verse says, I will strengthen you, it's only because He gives us that strength that we can lean into Him. And does that mean that we feel any better? I don't think so. I don't feel any better. I don't feel, He hasn't taken away my worry today. It's still there. The reason that I'm worrying is still there. But I can just have some strength as I rest into Him about that. So I want to encourage you to, you know, when you're feeling a bit overwhelmed and you're feeling like you can't handle anymore, I want to encourage you to press into God. And sometimes the best way that we can do that is to read the Bible. And so Isaiah 41 verse 10 is a great place to start. The other place that I often find really, really great place to read is Psalms. There's always stories of people who are feeling distraught, and of a God who is all forgiving and all powerful, And yeah, just knowing that none of this has taken him by surprise. He sees the beginning from the end, and you know, that's a really faithful thing that we can trust in. So I want to encourage you, no matter how you're feeling, and if you're feeling great, awesome, that's fantastic. But if you're not, if you're struggling in any way, oh hey Sarah, another Sarah Sharp. Right, she's my sister-in-law, for those of you who don't know that. Yeah, so where was I? Yeah, doesn't matter how you're feeling. Lean against the pillar that is God, and know that He can handle the weight of everything that we're carrying. And that's just so valuable, isn't it? So I want to encourage you, download the COVID Tracer app and scan all the QR codes that you can. That wherever you go, scan the QR code, because then it means it was so easy today for me to just get a message saying you have been in a place where somebody else has had COVID. And if I hadn't scanned my code, I wouldn't know. If you are unwell, go and get tested and stay home and wash your hands. Be kind. Be kind to those around you, the shopkeepers, the medical staff, the people on the internet that you don't agree with. Be kind to them. They are just expressing their opinion. Doesn't mean that you can be mean to them. And I will see you all on Sunday morning as we start to talk about restoration and how we can begin to restore what church is, and then begin to restore our community and our relationship with them. And then the following Sunday, it will be about restoring our planet, which is happening already, but how can we be a part of that? So thank you for watching, and reach out to each other. Aroha nui, ka kite anō.